You're listening to Game On with Jackson Stuart.
Life is good, but you, player, deserve something great. Follow Game On with Jackson Stuart on social media and get the latest advice, tips, and life hacks. Follow at Game On with Jack on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Lastly, hook yourself up with news you can use, interviews, posts, articles, and more on men's lifestyle, health, and success. See you at www.gameonwithjack.blog. Life's a game. Time to play. Time to win.
I don't wanna waste another night. I just wanna hit the floor, maybe somewhere I haven't been before. I don't wanna kill the vibe, I don't wanna feel it if it don't feel right. I just wanna break the ice.
Good people, sexy people, welcome back to another edition of Game On with Jackson Stuart. I'm your host, coming to you as I do every Friday at 5:01 CDT time, PM. I like that 01, makes it look kind of unique. Tonight we're wrapping up one of my favorite types of shows to do, an Ask Jack, where I take questions that you all have sent in via social media, email, etc., and I answer them to the best of my ability. And we had some carryover questions from last week I definitely wanted to get to and wanted to get them answered. First and foremost, want to make sure I invite you guys to follow Game On social media. YouTube, at Game On with Jack. Love all the new subscribers. Thank you guys so much for subbing to the show and following. Patreon.com, you can hit up the blog at gameonwithjack.blog. Twitter, same handle, and also on Instagram. So if you are not part of the Players Club, Players Group, whatever you want to call it, real men who know what it takes to win the game, it's not too late. You can climb on a board and join us as we just talk about new ways, new methods to become a better and new you. So with that having been said, let's get to some questions as we do part 2, or as I call it, Ask Jack 2. And let's get to your questions. So first up, we have James from San Francisco via Facebook. Dear Game On with Jack, love the show. Keep it going. Can't wait to hear more guests. What are some tips for maintaining mental health and well-being? Well, James, as I always remind you guys, I am not a therapist, counselor, doctor, dietitian, etc. I've just lived life and just bold and crazy enough to feel that I've got some tips that I could share that's worthwhile. But I have found that first and foremost, getting professional help. I think everybody should have a therapist just as much as they have a doctor, a dentist, etc. Like, you should have a medical professional who you can go in for a checkup, like a mental health checkup or a wellness check. So that's first, get a therapist. Second, I would say exercise is key to maintaining your mental health and well-being. You'd be surprised, if you don't already know, how good you feel, how good you focus, how positive you are, how optimistic, how determined and disciplined you can be if you take care of your body. If you maintain a healthy exercise regimen, not some kind of workout routine you do that's born of a mental health disorder like body dysmorphia or, some drive to constantly compete to the point that you're destroying your body. But a workout routine that keeps you healthy, keeps you moving, gives you goals and shows them gains, as we like to say. So definitely taking care of your body. Also, knowing when you don't feel right. Like, self-awareness is key for mental health and well-being. We all go through stress, we all go through sorrows, we all go through bouts of maybe situational depression, something really bad happened and it's got you down in the dumps. But when you know you've been feeling a certain way for so long and it's not right, you don't feel good for a long period of time, that is I think that is beyond the shadow of a doubt super important as a step towards maintaining mental health. So first up, having a therapist. Second, physical fitness and being healthy. Third, having self-awareness about how you feel. Okay, so that's really important. And I would say, additionally, a healthy work-life balance, a healthy work-fun balance. I think those are paramount and instrumental tips towards being the best, healthiest version of yourself mentally and in terms of your well-being. So, and guys, I have guests on the show who are trained therapists who have talked about stress, who've talked about mental health disorders. Go back and check out those episodes. I cannot stress enough how important it is for people, especially men, to get serious and get honest about mental health. The rates of suicide, the rates of depression, the rates of anxiety, all of which can be dealt with, are just far too high because we still, as a society, as a people, have a stigma about mental health, about counseling, about well-being, about saying if we need help. And we got to get over that, guys. We got to get past that. That's bullshit. That's old school. That was wrong when we thought it was right. So, James, kudos to you for the question. I hope that helps out. Michael in Houston writes in, how do you negotiate a salary raise effectively? Oh, Michael, that's a good question. I find a couple things. First up, being able to read the room. And in terms of, when I say room, I also mean like just the corporate environment. Are you guys coming off of a giant project? Is there a windfall? Is there cash in the purse, so to speak? Being able to tell if you are vital to your team, to your department, knowing who can even grant a salary raise. You don't want to go and pitch some long-ass PowerPoint presentation to somebody who can't do anything for you. So you need to do your homework. Know what you're talking about. Know who you're talking about. Make sure that to put it bluntly, make sure you're worth a raise. You don't want to go in there and think that you just cured world hunger or built the Statue of Liberty single-handed, and in reality, you ain't done shit. Like, don't go in there with a self-inflated ego. Don't go in there undercutting yourself either. You want a pretty solid, pretty accurate understanding of who you are and what you mean to the company. And I'd say, very importantly, talk to your HR department to see, get that feel. A lot of salary raises start with just getting the vibe. Where's the company at right now? Where's my boss at? Where's my supervisor's supervisor at? Just where is everybody in terms of money, in terms of salary? You go out there shooting your shot too early, too late, and you're done. So I'd say, lastly, don't go in attempting to negotiate your salary with ultimatums that you're not ready to back up. So you don't want to go in there and say, hey, if I don't get a 10% raise, I'm quitting today, because they might say, we will give you a box to put your shit in. Like, don't go in there with that kind of bravado and ultimatum. Just say, hey, I feel that I've contributed greatly to the company. I feel that my contributions have warranted a pay raise, and I'd like to pursue what that route would entail. And then you got to sit back and be prepared to hear what you're going to hear. And you may very well hear, well, thank you for the presentation. We're going to do a desk audit. We're going to look at your work and okay, and then we'll get back to you. And they may do a desk audit, where they kind of see what you do on a regular basis. And they may say, all right, let's talk about a raise. What were you thinking? And so start the ball rolling and realize that their job is to get the most out of you with having to pay the least amount of money. Your job is to get the most money out of them with the least amount of work. There's a middle ground, and you guys can find it. So, once again, via Facebook, Chris from Seattle. Jackson, how do you manage stress and prevent burnout? Oh, Chris, who says I do? Great question. Once again, I can't stress enough the importance of therapy and counseling for even something that we feel is not as life damaging as depression or anxiety, but sometimes just high stress, chronic stress, work burnout. These are things that therapists are also trained to talk about. So manage stress and prevent burnout. Definitely use therapy. Work-life balance, make sure that you are enjoying. Well, let me back up. Work-life balance hand-in-hand with self-awareness. If you keep waking up dreading your day because of work, and it's going on for too long, it's going on for a week or 2 weeks, and there's nothing going on to necessarily cause this feeling. Like, it's not like, oh man, here's another week of that hell project, or it's just a normal work week, but normal small things are starting to get to you for too long, a week, 2 weeks, etc. Let that self-awareness kick in and look at things like, when was the last time you had a vacation? When was the last time you took a day off? When was the last time you did something for yourself? So start to visit your self-awareness and get a feeling for where you are. And just be very honest about if you are emotionally hurting. As far as stress, the best way to manage stress is to manage your stress relief. So, you can do everything you want to do, you just can't do it all at once. And a lot of times our stress comes from we're focusing too much on what we do and not enough on what we enjoy. So look at the things that bring you relief. Look at, vacations or exercise routines or movies or video games or reading, whatever it is that brings you joy. Look at your hobbies, reading, writing, rock climbing, whatever it is that speaks to your soul, gardening, cooking. Typically, stress is because we're doing too much of what we don't want and not enough of what we do want. So look at that balance. And in terms of burnout, a lot of times burnout comes from working too hard for too often for too little. And too little could sometimes be the money. Too little could be the feeling or the effect that we perceive and we believe that we bring to an event or to a business. Like, man, I've been killing myself in this project and it's not gonna make a difference. That kind of vibe, So definitely look at those things in terms of managing stress and preventing burnout. And realize too that burnout is common. Burnout is normal. It's just staying there for too long is what can become damaging. So usually when you hit burnout and it's a healthy, normal, to be expected burnout, burnout's like emotional fatigue. Like if you ran a marathon, well, shit, you're going to be tired tomorrow. If you've gone through a rough work period or tough project, you could burn out. And give yourself time and grace and care to rest and recover. God, I gotta drink more during the show. It's so nice. Ryan via Snapchat. How do people find me on Snapchat? Anyway, Jackson, what are the benefits of intermittent fasting for a man? All right, Ryan, I do it. I'm gonna tell you this as somebody who does it, not as somebody who thinks they're a dietitian, because I'm not. You definitely will see a change in your body. You'll find a change in, you'll probably find some kind of fat burn kick in. You will initially find some crankiness because you're not eating breakfast, especially if you're a breakfast person. You may find some dips in energy until your body adapts and you will find spikes in energy. You will feel good. You will feel leaner. You will feel more aware and on point. I often tell people when I do intermittent fasting, I eat at noon until 8 o'clock at night. That 8 o'clock at night meal is usually where I screw up because sometimes I don't eat enough and I eat at like 7:15. I'm starving by 8. Well, shit, then I eat something. Or if I'm starving by 9, I eat something. But I keep doing something light, okay? I give myself 2 cheat days. And by cheat, I mean I eat breakfast. And even then, it's not crazy. I don't have like, The Rock's 9,000 calorie breakfast or anything. But benefits are you just feel better and your body responds by fat loss, by a boost in metabolism, by boosting energy, etc. So that's what I find. I also find that IF helps me bounce back from if I'm out kind of wilding out, partying, drinking, whatever, carrying on and staying up late, because I've been doing IF for so long, I feel like it helps me recover from just, excessive things every once in a while that I might do to my body. Modern Man via Twitter, GOWJS. I like that. Game On with Jackson Stuart. How do you stay motivated to achieve personal goals? Oh man, great question. For me, motivation comes from a couple things. One, seeing the end and seeing the end first. Like if I want to complete this project, I see the project done already. I see me celebrating. I see me in the team. I see me and whoever, like, man, that project is done. And I use that as like an anchor point to pull myself through the present to get there. But I don't stay there too much because I always feel like anxiety comes from worrying about the future. Guilt comes from worrying about the past. So I use it as an anchor point, and I don't put really any negative emotion into the fact that we're going to get this done. Also, what's key for staying motivated to achieve personal goals is and this is big for me, I remember my why. Like, why do I do this? Why am I doing this? And if you have a strong enough why, the how will make itself clear. So if I wanted to, I remember the first time I wanted to bench press 300 pounds. And I just really wanted to do it. And my why was because I wanted to feel that level of achievement, that level of physical strength. And then the hows just happened. I found guys in the gym who I befriended, guys who were lifters, and I just got into their routines and their programs. And I learned about whey protein and all this kind of stuff. And so I learned a healthier way to take care of my body on the inside so I could get the results on the outside. But I kept with the why in mind. Why am I doing this? Because I want this. I want to feel that achievement, that accomplishment. I want to feel that physicality I never felt before. And whether it be working out, exercise, weight loss, saving money, getting a job, starting a business, whatever it is, getting a relationship, being a better husband, father, brother, sister, whatever it is. What's your why? If you can hold on to your why, you can get through the hardships, and the how will make itself clear to you. And a lot of people, and I'm a big fan of this, I write my why down. Whatever project I'm starting, I write down my why. I am doing this project because I want to start my own business, because I want to fulfill my dream of being whatever it is. I write it down. And if it helps, I'm a big fan of the 3-6-9 method. Write it down 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, 9 times in the evening. And eventually, the things that you thought were impossible, because our brains love repetition, your brain suddenly just goes, yeah, I guess. Okay, it's possible. Because you keep telling your subconscious, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. And the brain is about achieving goals. The brain is about proving itself right, even if it believes something wrong or believes something that it can't see. And that then causes the how to appear. Let's see. We've got time for, okay, cool. We got time for more questions. Andrew from Boston writes in, what are some effective strategies for time management? Andrew, we did a great show on this last month about time management. Tracking your time is important. Know where, and take a piece of paper and a pencil or pen or an app and chart your week if possible. Chart several of your days. And then you can tell where your time is going. Next up, get some type of app. Because paper and pen is great, but for long term, having something on your phone you can just whip out and add to, very important. So an app that, for example, a calendaring system, a time management tool, something that can help you keep on point. Also, know why you're trying to manage your time. Because, are you trying to manage your time because you want to get home on time, because you want to get to work on time? Like, you need to know why you're doing this, because otherwise it's going to be that much harder to stick to managing your time. Like, it's going to just drift off because why am I doing this anyway? So definitely chart your time too. Use some type of app for your time management. Know your why for your time management. Like, why are you doing this? And lastly, make sure that you include in your time management, no matter, why you're doing this, that you also schedule time for play, time for enjoyment, time for fun. Your schedule any day should not just be work myself into the ground, because that's not going to be good. And why, for whatever reason you are managing your time, if it's just drudgery and grind, you won't be able to keep it up and you'll break. All right. So, Andrew, good luck with that. Healthy habits via Instagram. What are the best supplements for overall men's health? Coming from me, not an expert, I love whey protein. I love whey protein because, I don't take creatine, so I'm not trying to bulk up. Whey protein, I feel, helps, like I can feel it stitch my muscles back together, if that's possible. But it helps with my recovery, especially if I've been heavy lifting. I like Isopure, which I get it from Target, but I'm pretty sure you can get it from anywhere. But Isopure is whey protein that has very low carbs. A lot of protein off the shelf. If you're watching carbs or sugar, they taste good because they have a lot of sugar in them. Because protein powder without flavoring just is like chalk. So Isopure, I like Body Max, and I think Muscle Fortress is another one. I'm not getting paid by any of these people, but if they want to pay me, let me know. Holla. But those ones I personally use, and I like them. Let's see. Last one from Kevin in Austin via YouTube. Jackson, how do you build a strong personal brand? Kevin, damn, that's a good question. So brands are born out of, brands are founded with repetition. So, for example, let's take something like Nike, all right? Nike has every brand has 4 pillars, all right? That no matter what you are getting, if it's tied to this brand, you'll find it. So Nike brand, boom, 1, sports, 2, quality, 3, some type of tie to athleticism and celebrities, 4, comfort, style. I think it's style, right? But like comfort. So like, if it's a shoe, and I don't care if it's Serena's, I don't care if it's Jordan's, I don't care if it's a jacket by LeBron, whoever it is, if it's got that swoosh on it, boom, you can bet it's got style. You can bet it's quality. You can bet it's comfortable. You could bet that there's some athlete with their name all over it, wearing it, promoting it. And you can bet that it's a symbol of class, a symbol of self-awareness. So if you want to build your brand, you got to find your 4 pillars of your personal brand. What and who are you? Kevin, are you just punctual? Are you stylish? Are you personable? Are you funny? Are you entertaining? Are you serious? Like, no matter where people see you, they know, boom, 4 things. If Kevin's here, a good time's coming. If Kevin's here, this event is important. If Kevin's here, This event has something tied to finance. This event has something tied to sport. Like, there's 4 things about you that are consistent, and people know this consistency, and that is your personal brand. And then don't do anything to contradict that brand. That's what, that's that like cognitive dissonance, doing something and believing something and they're in opposition. So that is the best way to build a personal brand. Also the way you build a professional brand. And good luck with that. So, hey guys, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Game On. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe and leave a review. And as always, keep pushing yourself, keep experimenting, and keep winning the game. Until next time, I'm Jackson Stuart. Keep it sexy and game on.